Repeat order. Thank you, Christel. Start with the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I assume everybody's going over the minutes. First by legislator Walbur, second by legislator Walpole. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. On to resolutions. GC one, resolution accepting Board of Elections early voting grant funds.
I'll move it. Second.
First by legislator Hall, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. GC two, resolution authorizing budget modification, Board of Elections, reproduction expense.
I'll move it.
First by legislator Falia, second by legislator Wilbur. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried, thank you. GC three, resolution authorizing budget modification, county clerk, motor vehicle additional hours.
Second.
First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Holtz. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. GC four, resolution accepting local government records management improvement fund grant, county clerk. First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. PS one, resolution authorizing budget modification, sheriff's office overtime payments.
Move it.
First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Walpole. Jeremy, any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. IT, infrastructure. Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste, Eastern Equana Separate Latest Grant, I believe this is first by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Lockwood. This is Tyler Amnesty, if I'm not mistaken. Annual, okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. Resolution, IT two, resolution increasing authorization of capital project 87, upgrade fuel management system highway facilities.
Move it. Second.
First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. IT three, resolution authorizing budget modification, highway department snow removal expense. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. IT four, resolution authorizing budget modification, facility technology department, water. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Holtz. This is with the, coincides with the water replacement, the water head replacement. I understand.
Water meter, yes.
Water meter replacements.
They estimated our bill too low the last quarter in 2018, and then therefore we're gonna have enough money in 2019.
Very good, thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. IT five, resolution authorizing budget modification, facility and technology department, temporary and part-time.
Second.
First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Wilbur. Here, you two go back to that. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Thank you. IT six, resolution establishing capital project 110 IT initiatives 2019 facility and technology department. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Wilbur. Any discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you very much. EDP, there's nothing this month. Health Committee, HE2, resolution accepting grant funds from the Office of Children and Family Services to Healthy Families, Oswego County Program. First by legislator Stefani, second by legislator Lockwood. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. HE3, resolution authorizing budget modification, Health Department cost of spraying controlled disease-carrying mosquitoes.
Move it. Second.
First by legislator Walber, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. On to Human Services, resolution authorizing budget modification, Office for the Aging, heat alternate certifier services.
Move it.
First by legislator Walber, second by legislator Walpole. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. Okay, we're gonna change up, something real quick, it's not a big deal. We're gonna do, finance, FP2 first. Resolution awarding professional services contract, Human Services Department. This is KBM, Triad. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you very much. I'm doing FP1 along with the treasurer's report now. So we'll do, would you like to go into yours first?
I can.
And then we'll do the resolution. Okay, go ahead.
Real quick, go through my
Do
update.
go through your thing and then so you can explain and then we'll do the resolution.
Okay, sales tax difference, we're up, 448,000, which gives us about a total of 28 million over the year. Again, you gotta remember, AIM payments plus, this doesn't include, probably have a check waiting for us tomorrow or Monday, so the number, we'll see where it goes. Last 4 checks have been positive, so that's a good thing. So that's just a breakdown of how much we got for each, obviously each, pay period. Here's capital reserve analysis, 9.1. I wanna, thank the county administrator as well as, the audit, Steve, for working with me trying to, just finalize some of these numbers for the OTAS reserve. As you'll see, that's only 178,000. We gotta make sure that we do it up to the penny and give Phil the proper numbers so that we close these accounts out. And again, I really appreciate your department's help in this, and making sure we're not missing anything. So that's looking good. There's just a breakdown of, the OTAS funds and the reserve funds, where they began and, where they're at now. So this is where I'm coming up to. I wanted to show you in 2017, we had 634 properties at the end of December that were delinquent for 1.3 million. 2018, 1,260 for 2.8. This is where we're at now. At the end of September, we have 3,700 properties that are delinquent for almost $7 million. So when we talk about not all those are going into foreclosure yet. There are roughly 1,400 going into foreclosure. For the postage alone, for the new foreclosure for January of 2020, just for this one mailing is $43,000. So this is way higher than obviously we could ever imagine. New certified mail is where it is. Everybody's got to receive a certified letter that has a lien to a piece of property. We're going to be probably sending out about 5,000 letters.
Kevin,
Yes.
do you estimate that this, over the course of time, will come down by just sheer understanding how the process works?
Yeah, I mean, it has to. It's weird, the 2 to 4 year, I don't think we've really, I didn't put it in the postage, because who knew back then where this would fall. But, I don't think there's any major thing going on in the county. I think it's just moving to 2 to 4.
Right.
Do you have a breakdown of how many of these properties are owner occupied, how many of them are landlords?
I can see, I don't have it with me. It might be a little difficult, but I might be able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's,
Maybe even break out the vacant properties as well.
it'd be nice if it was 178, I could probably get you the information really quick. But we're dealing with 1,462, so, and the 3,900 total delinquent. So you got, remember, 3,900 people just got assessed 5% more, late fees. They're gonna learn and then hopefully just learn that they can't go in delinquency or else they're gonna be paying a lot more. So this is the next thing that goes along with the resolution for the money. So the cost for searches, alone is $142,000. So when your towns come back and say, how come we don't reap any of the auction benefits? The reason, it's costing us almost $200,000 in just postage and search fees. So we have to regain some of that. So and that was always presented, but never really shown to everyone. But I want to just mention, so the revenue from the search fees right now is roughly $438,000. Does that mean it's all in our pocket? No, because how many people will not pay that $300 extra? So that's hopefully the gained revenue. We don't know until, like down the road. But if 50% of the properties pay out of the 1,462 searches that were done, if 50% of the properties pay, if we went with the $200 and you didn't support the $300, we would have lost around $40,000. But since you increased it to 300, which I thank everyone that did, we're gaining 33,600. Again, that's not money in our pocket because we got 2 more bankruptcy searches. We still got letters to send out on these 1,462 or the amount that don't pay. I know it's a bunch of numbers, but you got, the committee and the legislature did a smart thing by raising that just, the $100. It covers the cost. Now it's generating, it's paying for itself. So that's why we've asked for and I just throw that out there. That on the left was the information memo. On the right is just the tax. So we're just asking to move money within our department from fees, and so we can pay for it all. The other thing to remember is we have to make everybody whole for school taxes. So that's also covered in this too. So we have to make sure that line's bumped up too because of all the delinquent properties. So we kind of interesting like I said, I don't think it's something that's going to happen next year. I think it probably will level out, is my guess.
Well, it's probably gonna take a couple, 2-3 years before it's a level out, but I can understand that.
A lot of people don't realize that we're in a 4-year or 2-year foreclosure anymore. They think they got 4 years to kick the can down the road. And now the letters, and we're talking foreclosure on $300-400 properties. So, it's crazy, but I'm sure the message will get out. So that's why I'm asking for the movement of money, if there's any questions.
I'll make a motion to move it.
First by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Walpole. Any other discussion, any more questions for the treasurer? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you.
Yeah, and just don't forget the auction Saturday.
So, yeah,
That's it.
okay, very good. This time we're gonna go in, we're gonna stay on departments. We're gonna go with the county administrator's monthly report.
Yes. First off, I'm gonna pass around the third quarter variance report on our expenses. This is updated as of today. You can take a look through it and call me with any questions, but it shows that we're in fairly good shape. We have 75% of the year has gone by. Our expenses average a total of 63% expended. Now, some of those departments, of course, are a month behind in paying out. Sometimes there's a lag, some are right up to date. So as long as we're below the calendar year variance by 10% or more, we're in good shape in terms of not going over budget or in danger of having a negative fund balance. So you'll see that some of these lines are above that 75%. Those are usually because those expenses are happen for the most part at the beginning of the year. Paying out your insurance and things like that. That's some at the beginning of the year. Highway sometimes is up a bit because a lot of expense on the snow occurs early in the year. So take a look through those, give me a call if you have any questions on any of that. Second thing, quick budget update, we are still working through the department's submissions. I've met once with every department, some twice, and trying to refine the requests. One of the challenges I'll just talk about now is criminal justice reform mandate. That involves no bail, onerous discovery requirements, and the legal system in the sheriff's department. Actually, that's going to touch sheriff, DA, 911, probation, and DSS. This was touted by those who passed it in Albany as fairness for both sides of the criminal justice system and with no cost associated. Every county is finding that that is not true. There is some cost savings in the jail because there's going to be fewer people in the jail with no bail. Basically, you get an appearance ticket instead of bail for certain types of crimes. However, there's an enormous cost on the other side with discovery, administrative costs of making sure that both sides of a case have equal access to all the records, and there's a time deadline on when discovery can be completed by 15 days, which is a bit unrealistic. But when we net out the additional expense of this minus the potential savings, it still adds over $800,000 to our levy. So there is a cost to this, and we're trying to go through that now. That's probably one of the biggest challenges we have right now is trying to compensate for that. On another note, recent discussions I've had with other county administrators, particularly who are dealing with the same increase in unfunded mandates that happened this year. One thing has risen back to the surface again, and that's the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. If you're not familiar with it, you know that we are required to pay a portion of community college costs for our residents. Community colleges are 2-year schools. The Fashion Institute is a 4-year school, but it got lumped into that law that we have to pay that portion. And that law also says, though, that SUNY reimburses us for that. However, since that law was passed in 1992, we have made all the payments, but SUNY has never reimbursed us. And that bill has come up to $742,949. What I want to do is poke the bear a little bit, unless anybody objects. I want to send a bill to SUNY for that money and see what the response is.
Yeah, with interest.
And I think I know what the response is. They say that it's not funded in the budget by the legislature, but we'll see. My response back then is, okay, we don't have to pay it if you guys don't fund your end of it. So, but I want to just see what they say, and I think you might see some other counties doing the same thing.
So you'd like,
Because this has gone on for over 20 years that they have not.
It doesn't need action.
I think it should.
It doesn't need action.
We're gonna send them all.
Might need action later.
Might need
Let's
action.
send the bill and see what the response is.
We're gonna send it back.
Maybe it's somebody's first day and they just pay it.
But, you know, it's, we're gonna give it a shot, see what happens. I think that's all I have for now. We are awaiting, word on, funding through the READY, Commission, that's on, Lake Ontario, flooding aid that the state has set up. That should be coming within an announcement within the next few days. We don't know quite which projects will be funded and how much we'll get, but they've sort of earmarked roughly 15 million for each county. That isn't necessarily 15 million for us, but throughout the whole county, all the municipalities and businesses. So with a separate set of money for regional projects, such as marinas that affect more than one county. A recent development, though, is that this was originally set up so that if we accept any of the money into a project, we have to pay 15% of it. That's been reduced to 5%. It's a little, makes it a little easier, not only for us, but particularly for smaller towns. Originally, seasonal homes were not in this mix. There is, seems to be more of an understanding now that any money that is left over for the pot of money reserved for primary homes will be made available to seasonal homes. And that's come from the state in the last couple of days.
Will they make I would assume they would make an announcement of what time frame are we looking at? Because I have many seasonal residents that have asked me about it, and obviously I couldn't give them a clear answer on when.
They're going back and forth with our community planning department every day. The sense is there, there'll be announcements within probably the next week.
Even the seasonal.
Even the seasonal, all seasonal and primary owners at this point should sign up. That change happened yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
That's it, unless anybody has any questions about anything I said or anything
Any
else.
questions for Phil?
Well, one thing on that cashless bail, and all of that, the whole criminal justice reform, just so everybody else knows what our sheriff's department is up against. On top of that, there's anywhere from 40 to 50 inmates who will be let out January 1. And then the sheriff's department will have that increased workload to make sure the rest of our safety is protected. There's an increased cost there.
There's many different types of situations that our law enforcement county's looking at on that. Okay, so my plan is to go through human resources first, and then we're gonna go right to vacancy review. Put it right together. We have Jessica with us today. She's gonna run on through, so you can start off with your human resources report.
Okay, so you want me to start with the vacancy request, correct?
No,
No, you want me to start with the, okay.
yep, do it reverse.
So, what I have as of September 20th, we have 36 vacant positions. Our total savings to date in 2019 is $1,645,198.36. What I got.
Do we have any kind of exams coming up, anything that you want?
Oh, we do, we have, well, let's see. We've got a couple coming up here, we've passed the last file date, we do always ask that everyone make sure all their constituents are aware of our website, especially when we get the new one running, we're gonna have the online application. Right now, we only have a couple announced, we have caseworker aide, and community service worker that's up for December, so definitely push those DSSs in need of caseworkers for sure.
Thank you. Now, on to vacancy review. We'll do them by department,
Okay,
okay?
so we are bundling, I was told
We can-
not to bundle, so
We
but we are.
will bundle by department.
Okay. All right, so for the highway department, they are looking to fill a position for a crew leader temporarily behind a leave of absence, as well as a medium operator highway worker 2 behind a retirement, and a medium operator highway worker 2 backfill because the employee in that position is transferring to the retirement line, so that will need to be backfilled.
Okay. Motion is a block by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Twist. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you. Okay,
Public Defender's Office needs to fill a senior account clerk position. This is a backfill due to an employee leaving for other employment and a promotion of a current employee.
Move it.
first by legislator Walber, second by legislator Lockwood. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you.
The Social Services Department has a opening for a typist position behind a resignation, an employment specialist backfill behind a retirement, and another typist position behind a resignation.
First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Halls. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you very much. Next,
And the
solid
solid
waste.
waste department has a loader operator position behind a retirement.
Got a first by legislator Wilbur, second by legislator Holmes. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you.
And the county clerk's department has a senior motor vehicle clerk position to fill behind a resignation. And then a motor vehicle clerk backfill because that person will then be promoted.
First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Lockwood. All in favor? Any opposed? Any discussion on that? Okay. Any opposed? Carries, thank you. Very good. Okay, anything on any advisory boards? Look for the appropriate motion. First by legislator Walpole, second by legislator Twist. All in favor? Any opposed? Carries, thank you very